think I've unlocked a new hack for how to get your kids out of the house in less than 5 minutes. Because we all know that kids love to dilly-dally and take forever to get out of the house, especially the younger ones. So here's what you do. Now keep in mind, they're gonna have to be able to understand this concept, so probably 2.5 or older. So if you have a younger kiddo, just take this and store it in your pocket for later. When you are starting to get ready to leave, get dressed, brush your teeth, do the whole routine, say something is an emergency outside, like, oh my gosh, we have to hurry, it's going to rain. Or, oh my gosh, we have to hurry, it's gonna snow. Or, oh my gosh, the sun is gonna burn your skin off. I don't really care what you say. Just something outside is going to happen, so we have to hurry and get in the car. We did this yesterday with my 3-year-old when it was literally about to start storming. I'm like, hurry, we have to get dressed and get ready to get in the car so we can make it to the store in time before it rains. And we didn't make it, so we ended up just staying home for about an hour until the rain stopped. So he learned, oh, we have to quickly get in the car or we don't get to go yet. So today my wife was getting ready to leave to go to Costco and my son was just kind of like, and she said, oh, it's gonna rain, we have to hurry. And all of a sudden he is just running around the house, saying bye to me as quickly as he can, getting everything he needs to run out the door. And we're like, I think we're onto something here. But I think the important part is you have to let them experience defeat. Like, oh man, we didn't make it in time and it actually starts raining or it actually starts snowing or whatever you're using. You're not using snow in the summer, but you get my point. But give this a try and let me know if it works.
And with that, the 2024 season comes to an end.
My shoe's undone. Your house is weird. Bells, jingle. I'm all done talking about grass now. Or not. No gas. Wake up, baby! Can I help you? It's really hot out here. Nope. I'm showing Santa Cheerios in my toes. Are you serious right now? I don't know why I expected that to go any differently.
Hey, no.
Oh shoot.
No hitting.
What's it? Yep.
No hitting.
Ah, come on. Watch this. Nope, I can't do this. Nope. You're gonna be a big brother. I want popsicle, please. Here's some holiday gift ideas for your toddlers that they'll actually use. First, and my personal favorite, is one of these Strider balance bikes. So you can buy it with the rocking base, so when they're younger, they sit on it and basically use it like a rocking horse and just rock back and forth. But then you can take it off of that and they learn how to balance and ride the bike without training wheels. In a matter of 2 months, my son has gone from slowly walking on this thing to taking off down the road and lifting his feet up and balancing. It's amazing. And it also has an adjustable seat, so they can use it for quite a while. One of these bubble guns, so many bubbles, and so much entertainment. Anything Little People related with all of these characters and vehicles, because after 2, their imagination really starts to take off, and my son will just sit and play with these by himself all the time. And one of these ball and hammer games. It's great because it teaches them color matching, cause and effect when you hit the ball and it rolls down, and if they just like being really loud and smacking the ball down, they'll enjoy that too. Follow along for more holiday gift ideas. Let's make some homemade ranch seasoning because I'm tired of spending $2 on one packet, and also the ingredients in it are not that great. First up, 1/2 cup of buttermilk powder. Buttermilk powder is also great to have on hand because if a recipe calls for buttermilk, rather than wasting most of it like we typically do, you can just mix it with water or milk, and now you have buttermilk. 2 tablespoons of garlic powder, and 2 tablespoons of onion powder. 2 teaspoons of dried parsley or parsley flakes. 2 teaspoons of dill weed. You can add more if you like more dill. Some chives, not necessarily a requirement, but I just sprinkle a few in. About a teaspoon. You can use regular salt. I'm using fine sea salt. 1/2 teaspoon of that. 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. Again, you can add more if you like it to have a little more kick. And 1/4 teaspoon of ground mustard. This is also optional. Some recipes use it, some don't. You're just gonna give it a good shake, and you have homemade ranch seasoning. If you guys like this stuff, let me know. I've been trying to feed my family healthier, so I'll give you some more recipes. If you're having a baby, here's some things I recommend that you pack in your hospital bag that you might not think about. First up is chapstick and some lotion. Hospitals are very cold and very dry. Your skin will need these. Second, if you plan on breastfeeding, some sort of cream for your lady bits because it will be sore and very tender and very dry when you first start. I personally like Earth Mamas, but you can get whatever kind you want. Snacks, trail mix, pretzels, protein bars, whatever you're in the mood for can think of. Because if you have your baby in the middle of the night and you haven't eaten in a very long time because they typically don't let you eat while you're in labor, guess what? You're gonna be hungry and the cafeteria may not open until 8 a.m. Shower shoes if you would like to take a shower after giving birth because hospitals are nasty and I wouldn't recommend you just stand barefoot on the shower floor. You really don't need a whole lot for your baby except if you want some cute outfits for them to take pictures in and whatever they're leaving the hospital in, blankets to keep them warm and whatnot. But I do recommend you bring your own wipes. I prefer water wipes because they could very well be allergic to whatever the hospital offers. I have a running list of things I bring to the hospital. They're not all necessities, just things I like, but these are things that I find very important. Hey pal, why don't we go lay down? I'm not tired. You were just rubbing your eyes. No, I just had something in my eye. Okay. Hey, Mommy, can we go outside? No, buddy, you look pretty tired. I have an idea. How about I snuggle with you? Nope, I want to go outside. Okay. Come on, pal, let's just go take a rest in your room. I don't want to rest. Seriously? It does not look like you're resting. I'm not tired. All right, buddy, You have got to be kidding me.
Ooh, snuggle time. Maybe she didn't see me the first time. I just want to sit with you. Where do you keep going? All right, let me crawl over to you. What is she doing?
Why you keep getting up, Mom? I keep trying to lay on you. I know. Here's how I got my almost 3-year-old to start falling asleep on his own and not needing me to lay next to him. Now, I will say that his age definitely helps with the understanding of what I'm about to tell you, but you can still give it a try if they're younger. So first, get them some sort of stuffed animal that's new to them or they haven't seen in a while, so technically it's new to them, and tell them that this is their friend that they're going to snuggle to bed from now on. They may need a nightlight if they're scared. We got this cute little guy. And then I told him, I need you to stay in your bed. Mommy's not going to snuggle you, but you can talk to your stuffed animals as long as you'd like. I will come and check on you. And I walked out of the room. And then I set a timer. You can do for whatever you want. The first time I did 2 minutes, and then I went back and checked on him, and I just said, I'm just checking on you. I love you. I'll come check on you again. And I left. And then I did a 3-minute timer, and I went back in, and then I did a 5-minute timer, and so on and so forth. And by the 3rd timer, he was out. Some days he falls asleep really fast, and some days it takes a little longer and a little more of me coming in sooner to check on him. But regardless of how long it takes, he's finally falling asleep on his own. We've been using this for nap times, and we're starting to implement it for bedtime too. I would recommend, if they're still taking naps, you just start with one thing at a time. Don't try to do both. And once they get the hang of the nap time, then you can try to move to the bedtime, which is a little bit more challenging. What is the most effective thing you can do for your toddlers when they're having a tantrum? It took me a couple years to learn this, and I feel like I've tried it all. Talking to them, reasoning with them, offering hugs, trying to de-escalate the situation, and none of it ever seemed to work. It always seemed to make it worse. So after a while, I learned the best method is to do nothing. Take them to a safe space. If they're throwing or they're flailing their body, I'll take my son to his bed and just set him on his bed and sit next to him and just wait, say nothing. And then when he starts to calm down, I'll say, would you like a hug or would you like to take a deep breath? I'll offer him something. And if he continues being mad, I just let him be mad again until he calms down again. And something crazy happened the other day. We were sitting on his bed while he was, losing it. And after about 30 seconds, he was like, I would like to take deep breaths now. I was like, okay, perfect. Let's take deep breaths. And another important thing you can do is model the behavior you want them to show. So when I get frustrated, I catch myself. Of course, we all want to yell, but I'll stop myself and I'll, do a little foot stomp and be like, oh, I'm so frustrated. And I model that to him so he can see how he can act when he's frustrated. And he's really picked up on this now. When he hears me do a big sigh or take a deep breath, he'll be like, Mommy, why are you frustrated? So he's learned when I'm taking deep breaths, it's probably because I'm mad about something. Here's how you get your kids to do something without nagging or yelling at them constantly. Now, my son is a toddler, so what I want him to do is going to look a lot different than what you would want an older kid to do. So for instance, for a younger kid, that might look something like, hey, can you please put your bib or your bowl in the sink? Versus for an older kid, it may be like, hey, can you please clean your room? But what you're going to do is you're going to ask them one time, and you're going to make sure they heard you, hey, can you please do, X? XYZ, whatever your list is or your one thing is. And that's it. You don't repeat it, you don't nag, you don't yell. And then when they come to you and they want something like, hey mom, can I go outside? Well, did you clean your room? Now, obviously, younger kids aren't going to get it right away that I need to do what mom asked, or I'm not going to get something later because they're more in the moment type kids. But as they get older, they will learn. I need to do what mom asked, or I'm not going to get something in the future. So for instance, the other day, my 3-year-old refused to put his laundry in the laundry basket when I asked him to. And there isn't really a relatable or natural consequence for this. So if they were throwing food, you take their food away. But for something like that, there isn't really much you can do in terms of a consequence. So I just chose to let it go. And then when he came back to me later on in the day and he was like, hey mommy, can I go do this? Or can I have this? I was like, are your clothes in your laundry basket? Nope. So he ran and put them in the laundry basket. I can't speak from a professional standpoint that it's going to work for older kids, but give it a try because it works for my toddler.